Good Tuesday evening, June 4th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A 61-year-old Yakima man will serve 7.5 years in prison for importing fentanyl to sell in the Wenatchee Valley. Chelan County's brush drop-off yard outside Leavenworth will move to limited hours, operating just 2 Fridays a month. We'll explain coming up. Sunny skies and temperatures back to normal tomorrow, and then by Thursday, the heat is on. I'll have all the details straight ahead in your full local weather forecast. A brush fire that started in the Greater Wenatchee Regional Landfill outside East Wenatchee quickly went to 3 alarms at about 3:45 this afternoon. Wenatchee Valley Fire Chief Brian Brett said high winds contributed to rapid spread of the fire, which hit 15 acres quickly. Brett was unable to provide a further acreage update just before 4 p.m. this afternoon, but said a helicopter was helping ground resources battle the fire. Level 2 evacuation notices were being served for homes on Batterman Road, Anderson Lane, Keene Grade Road, and Sageland Road. Level 2 evacuations urge residents to be prepared to leave at a moment's notice if the alert should go to Level 3. Brett said Department of Natural Resources and Bureau of Land Management were mobilizing to contain the fire to prevent it from spreading up the Keene grade and threatening the Palisades. An 18-year-old East Wenatchee man accused in a graffiti and gunfire incident at Lee Elementary School is now formally charged in the crime. Douglas County prosecutors filed charges today against Enrique Agustin Torres, including counts of unlawful firearm possession and malicious mischief. East Wenatchee police say Torres was one of 2 people seen on surveillance video leaving gang markings on portable classrooms at Lee and discharging a handgun. The incident took place about 2 a.m. and no children were present. Police allegedly later found a pistol modified to fully automatic mode in Torres's home. He remains held in the Chelan County Jail on $75,000 bond. A 61-year-old Yakima man will serve 7.5 years in prison for importing fentanyl to sell in the Wenatchee Valley. John William Wilkins pleaded guilty Monday to narcotics possession and distribution. He was arrested after a Columbia River Drug Task Force operation last fall observed Wilkins dealing fentanyl and found him transporting 120 pills and just under 5 ounces of methamphetamine. Wilkins has multiple prior drug felonies. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira sentenced him yesterday to 90 months in prison plus a year on community custody. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority is hosting a groundbreaking event for the launch of the Trades District project next week. The project's initiative is to renovate the former gigawatt buildings on South Billingsley Drive into incubator spaces for new businesses, especially for Latino entrepreneurs. The groundbreaking event will begin at 11 a.m. on June 13th. Attendees will hear remarks from Port CEO Jim Kuntz and other key project participants. Anyone interested in attending has until June 7th to RSVP by email to the Port's Economic Development Specialist, Brooke Lammert. The Chelan County Sheriff's Behavioral Health Unit has won a nearly $50,000 grant to help keep deputies and staff mentally healthy. The grant from the Washington's Criminal Justice Training Commission will go to stress management training, PSD workshops for law enforcement and their spouses, and other resources. It's part of nearly $270,000 in grants to support officer health in the last 2 years, spearheaded by BHU Program Manager Ana Gonzalez. The unit primarily works with law enforcement to de-escalate conflicts with people suffering mental distress before they become criminal incidents. When we come back, earlier today, the City of Chelan announced its partnership with local outreach nonprofit Our Valley, Our Future in launching the Lake Chelan Vision Project. More on that coming up. And several area school districts and the food assistance nonprofit Small Miracles are providing free summer meals for children. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents The Magic of Manson. Spring is here at the Chelan Ridge Winery. Check out the all-new deck area, enjoy an amazing view, new vintage wines, and that down-home hospitality Chelan Ridge is famous for.
Wine Girl Wines is already famous for wine, beer, and great entertainment. And now they have added craft cocktails to the list of food and drink, so pop on by our Manson location for some good old-fashioned fun.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome to the Columbia Basin Dispute Resolution Center. We are a local nonprofit serving Grant and Adams counties, helping businesses and people resolve difficult issues so they can move toward a better future. We offer help with workplace disputes, residential issues, family matters, and can train your staff in conflict prevention and resolution skills. Call us at 509-237-8401 to learn more.
Earlier today, the City of Chelan announced its partnership with local outreach nonprofit Our Valley, Our Future in launching the Lake Chelan Vision Project. The project is a community-driven outreach and vision initiative intended to identify the core values of the community as well as lay groundwork for a bright future. The initiative will span the area from 25 Mile Creek to South Shore to Chelan on to Union Valley and then to Manson. Our Valley, Our Future has been recruited to conduct community surveys and host listening sessions. The dates and locations for those sessions have yet to be announced, but a survey is now available on OVOF's website in both English and Spanish to gather initial data from residents on life in Chelan. Chelan County's brush drop-off yard outside Leavenworth will move to limited hours, operating just 2 Fridays a month. County Public Works Director Eric Pearson says the site has received an average of just 2 customers an hour and is operating at a loss despite a $25 minimum drop-off charge. The brush yard on East Leavenworth Road will have its next open date June 13th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then again June 28th. Because of Washington's apple maggot quarantine, residents in Leavenworth and most of the western county are prohibited from taking their green waste to the nearest transfer station in Dryden. Brush and yard waste inside the quarantine area can also be taken to Winton Manufacturing Compost Works near Coles Corner. Several area school districts and the food assistance nonprofit Small Miracles are providing free summer meals for children. Eastmont's lunch program begins on June 18th, and Wenatchee and Quincy school districts programs, which include breakfast and lunch, follow suit on June 24th. Small Miracles will offer lunches at parks in Wenatchee, Cashmere, and Rock Island, and locations in East Wenatchee as well. The majority of the school programs require the meals to be eaten on-site and all include any child under the age of 18. A complete list of locations, times, and dates for the Wenatchee, Eastmont, and Quincy programs can be found on the NCWLIFE website. Coming up next, dozens of people attended a meet and greet Monday evening with the 3 candidates to become Wenatchee's new police chief. More in tonight's feature story. Much nicer weather on tap for Wednesday with our first heat wave of the season beginning Thursday. I'll have all the details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services. a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Check out clubcrowcashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
In tonight's feature story, dozens of people attended a meet and greet last night with the 3 candidates to become Wenatchee's new police chief. Captains Brian Chance and Edgar Reinfeld are long-serving members of the Wenatchee Force. Former Denton, Texas Police Chief Doug Shoemaker is the 3rd applicant. All of them laid out their case for why they should be picked to replace retiring Chief Steve Crown. The public can submit feedback on which candidate should be selected by emailing the city's Human Resources Department by the end of this week.
We have a lot of concerns in our community, and they're right in our face all the time. We are working to address those at all times. But the principles under which I work and that matter to me is that, first of all, we guarantee the rights of everybody. We can't just guarantee the rights of one group for the sake of the rights of somebody else. And in 2020, when we had protests, it kind of really crystallized in my head, talking to some people involved and say, I can't violate their rights, so you feel free to exercise your rights. And as I worked on that argument with a number of people calling and complaining, it really worked, and it came to help other people understand and see what our role is as a department. So wherever we can take action for issues like homelessness, our drug problem, where I work with the Columbia River Drug Task Force right now as their commander for the Wenatchee PD side, we need to do all that we can within our legal authority to address these issues and to try to protect and prevent further damage in our community. But at the same time, we have to watch out for the things that not only add liability to a department or a city, something I'm not averse to. I'm all about walking to the edge and seeing what we can do, but at the same time, not exceeding that and getting ourselves in a trouble spot.
Currently at the Wenatchee Police Department, we have a very healthy culture and we're a high-functioning department, but we can always improve. I want to build an environment of approachability, where the open door concept isn't just a concept, but all of our employees feel like they can truly take advantage of it, and it is a reality for them. We have great staff that has great ideas, and I want to work with all of them to push this agency forward into the future and find solutions to the problems that we're facing in our department or even in our community. And I want to foster a culture where every employee in the Wenatchee Police Department feels that they have a part and a vested interest, a personal stake in where we are headed and what we accomplish. Hiring right now is a real challenge in law enforcement. I want to see us focus young and focus locally. We need to start engaging youth and humanizing law enforcement with our youth. We need to help our youth identify a good path to take, a successful path to take. We need to help them learn how to make good decisions now so that later on, the decisions that they make when they're young don't have a negative impact on their ability to be successful in the future.
We've been to this area a few times on vacation and fell in love with it because of all the beauty of the place, the way it feels and the way it makes you feel, and quite frankly, the friendliness of the community. Add on top of that the reputation of your police organization. And I will tell you folks, I work with a lot of organizations across the country through the International Police Chiefs. Your organization is doing it right. You should be proud of that, because not everybody is. And if you're from the community and you're here, you should feel really proud of your police department. Doesn't mean there are things to improve upon, but you've got a great foundation and you've had a lot of success, and that's not easily earned. Dealing with issues of COVID and protests and unrest and people changing so much after 2020. It's difficult to try and continue to lead forward, but you push forward because if you're like me, you look at the women and men that do the job on the daily, no matter if it's sworn or professional staff members, and you take pride in those victories. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Police chief should absolutely celebrate those successes, everyday successes, that the women and men of the police department do. And sometimes we don't do a really good job with that. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies in that we don't tell our story well enough at all. And we've got to do a better job of talking about those things.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great Tuesday. Still lots of that wind out there, which really didn't help the fire situation in East Wenatchee this afternoon. It came up about noontime. It was a nice morning, and then about a 20 to 25 mile an hour wind throughout the day, but you sure couldn't tell it by looking out our weather window up north. This is our Tumwater Sky-Fi Tower camera looking down at Leavenworth. You can see we had some clouds throughout the day, even some good downpours up in Lake Wenatchee. We caught that on our Sky-Fi Tower cam sometime this afternoon. So it did rain in parts of our viewing area today, but I'll tell you what, folks, after today, we are going to get warm. Mid-70s for Wednesday. We're talking low to mid-80s on Thursday, near 90 degrees Friday, and I think that's been upgraded to almost 95 degrees for us now on Friday, and we're going to stay at least in the upper 80s as we finish out the weekend on Sunday and once again into Monday. And one of the problems with early year heat waves is you get kind of a false sense of security out there. Remember, drink plenty of water if you are outside. It is going to be really hot for this time of year. Wear those loose-fitting, light-colored clothing. And of course, if you can, get into air conditioning and find some shade. Yeah, it's going to be that hot as we get into the upcoming weekend. Today, though, about normal. 73 our unofficial high temperature. 76 is where we should be for this time of year. Our record high, 98 degrees, set in 1970. 50 this morning. 53 is where we should be for a normal low temperature. 42 our record, and that was set in 1976. Sunrise this morning, 5:06, and it sets tonight at 8:53. All right, taking a look now at your Wednesday temperatures. We're going to jump up pretty good in temperatures for a lot of areas. Moses Lake, and Quincy and Ephrata all will see upper 70s, around 78 degrees. 76 for Wenatchee, Entiat, and Chelan, and 74 the high temperature tomorrow in Leavenworth. The good news, a lot less wind as we get into Wednesday and especially late this week. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. There's the nose of our ridge of high pressure. Still might see some breezy conditions tonight. Going to be a little bit cool too, with low temperatures in most locations down into the mid-40s. We're going to be about 20 degrees warmer than that for lows in a couple of days. For Wednesday then, look at all the clear skies, sunshine and warmer. Highs in the mid to upper 70s for most of us on Wednesday. Getting into the end of the week, this is where we're going to start to get hot. Sunny skies throughout the western U.S. We're going to warm up mid-80s for high temperatures on Thursday, and that's going to be about 10 degrees above where we should be. And you can see all of the west and especially the desert southwest just stifling hot the end of this week. For Friday, sunny and unseasonably warm / hot for Friday. We're going to hit temperatures right around 90 degrees, and that goes for a lot of southeastern Washington, Tri-Cities, low to mid-90s. For Saturday, high clouds out there. That's about it. There's that area of high pressure, and you can see that gray, just some high clouds. Not going to hold our temperatures down much, though. Low to mid-90s 90s for high temperatures Saturday. We're going to be approaching record temperatures Saturday. For Sunday, look at all of the clear skies once again as high pressure lingers off the west coast. We're going to see high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, so just a slight cool down on Sunday. And then it's back. Sunny skies and even a little bit warmer again on Monday. We're going to see highs in the upper 80s to about 90, and looking past Monday into midweek next week, it's going to get hot once again in the 90s and maybe even upper 90s as we get into the end of next week. So this heat wave, it's going to stick around for a while. 45 overnight tonight, 76 and sunny tomorrow. Should be a beautiful day. And then we start to warm up beginning on Thursday. Sunshine and 84, all kinds of sun Friday through Monday. And look at those temperatures, 90 on Friday, 93 Saturday, a little cooler Sunday at 87, and then right back to almost 90 degrees as we get to Monday. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
A 338 hitter in the
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in Wednesday, June 12th when the Apple Sox take on the Bellingham Bells. Coverage of Apple Sox baseball is brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center. Your television home for Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball. The NCWLIFE channel. On June 7th, the NCWLIFE channel will be providing live coverage of Eastmont's commencement exercises at 6 and Wenatchee's following at 8. Coverage is brought to you by our premium supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, and our gold supporter, the Town Auto Group. Coverage is also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council and AmeriCorps, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista, Together for Youth, the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and the Wenatchee Valley Technical Skills Center.
Happy Tuesday. The Mariners are in Oakland to face the A's in the first of 3 games down in the Bay Area. Seattle takes a 34-27 record into tonight's contest, while the A's are 24-37. George Kirby will start for the Mariners. He's 4-5 with a 4.08 earned run average. He'll go up against Oakland's Mitch Spence, who's pretty good. He's 4-2, 3.52 ERA. First pitch set for 6:40. It'll be on Root Sports Northwest. While despite being idle, the Mariners gained a little breathing room with the Rangers losing yesterday in the American League West. Texas fell to Detroit 2-1. Houston beat St. Louis 7-4 to climb to within 7 games of first place. Angels outlasted San Diego 2-1 to earn their 22nd win of the season. Well, as the Seahawks continue organized team activities, or OTAs, at the VMAC in Renton, the installation of the new offense and defense continues. New offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb says they're progressing as scheduled on the installation of his new scheme.
I would say we're closing in on, 50% of our installation, and I think early on we tried to do a good job on both sides of the ball of getting some of the, the critical exchanges and all the things that we need to know and understand about the nuances of the broad vision of the offense. And once you felt good about that, continue to build on that and move on. I think the guys have done a really good job, especially in the last week and a half of getting that where we could feel good about building on top of some of those things.
Grubb comes to the Seahawks after leading the University of Washington to the national championship game last year. He says he's very impressed with both Geno Smith and Sam Howell so far.
They're awesome. They're friggin' awesome. They are. I think that they're both really, really hard workers. They're very diligent, intelligent, and I know that it means a lot to them. And I think that their leadership in the room and how they react and work together says a lot about the kind of guys that they are, that they understand the team concept, and they're both fighting to get better every day. And I couldn't be more happy with, number one, where they're at, and then the type of guys that management has brought into this place have done a really good job.
Sam Howell came to Seattle in an offseason trade with the Washington Commanders. He says he really likes the new offense he's picking up with the Seahawks after what he ran in Washington.
It's a little different, but Grubb's done a great job. It's been so much fun learning from him, and obviously, he's had so much success over the past few years. So we do a lot of different things, mix up some tempos, but it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a quarterback-friendly offense, and Eric Bieniemy's offense was kind of similar in that way, that it was a quarterback-friendly offense, and both of those guys like to throw the ball a lot, so it's definitely a lot of fun to play in.
One of Hal's targets will be tight end Pharaoh Brown, who came over in free agency from New England. He says he looks forward to his role with the Seahawks.
Just the opportunity. I felt they had 2 tight ends that had left that went on to other teams, and I just felt like it was a good opportunity to get on the field. After talking to the coaches, they had like a real role for me and was excited to get me here, and everything's been checking out since I've made the move here. So that's pretty much what went into it. It's a lot of going to that. You know, the more money they pay you, the more you get a role, right? So they paid me a little more money this time, so I'm getting a little better role. Like, you know what I mean? I went from a supporting actress to, you know, got me a half a trailer right now. So.
Meanwhile, the defense is all new under head coach and defensive coordinator Mike McDonald. Tackle Jaron Reed looks forward to rolling it out when the season starts.
I love it. I think it's a great change for us. I think we got a lot of guys that can play a lot of different positions. I'm excited to see where we can go with this. We got to get everybody back, everybody gelling together, but I'm excited to see where this defensive line can go. I think that they can use a lot of my talents a little bit more, move me around a little bit more. I think we got multiple guys that can do that. That's the most part, not just us being stationary. I think moving us around a little bit creates some mismatches for everybody that's along the line.
Seattle starts the preseason August 10th in L.A. against the Chargers. Their second game August 17th in Tennessee against the Titans. They'll finish the preseason at home August 24th against Cleveland. The Wenatchee Apple Sox picked up their 4th win of the season last night in a non-league affair against Redmond. Wenatchee erased an early deficit with a 6-run 5th inning en route to a 9-4 victory. Voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has more on last night's win.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox overcame an early 4-run deficit to defeat the Redmond Dudes 9-4 on Monday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Wenatchee capped off a perfect homestand after sweeping the Port Angeles Lefties Friday through Sunday by picking up a non-league victory against Redmond. The story of the game was the work of Drew Welk. He tossed 5 scoreless innings, including striking out 5 batters and recording 2 different inning-ending 6-4-3 double plays. Offensively, Wenatchee was able to plate 6 runs in the 5th inning to take the lead and then got a few more of insurance the next inning and then one in the 8th to put the game away. Next up for the Apple Sox is a 6-game road trip which begins with 3 games in Port Angeles. Game 1 of that trip begins on Tuesday night at 6:35 p.m. at Civic Field. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joe Norman.
South African Ethan Buckley led the way for Wenatchee, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Joe Scheffler helped out the cause, went 2 for 3 with 3 runs. Drew Welk worked 5 innings of relief while allowing no runs and just 1 hit to earn the victory. Wenatchee's on the road tonight to face Port Angeles at 6:35. You can hear the action locally with Joel on Sunny FM. In other action across West Coast League last night, Ridgefield edged Edmonton 3-2. Victoria clobbered Kelowna 12-3. Yakima Valley won a non-league matchup with the Cascade Collegiate All-Stars 12-0. Walla Walla was rained out at Portland. Hey, we're giving away Globetrotter tickets just in time for Father's Day. The Harlem Globetrotters World Tour is coming to the Town Toyota Center on Sunday, June 16th, and we have 4 tickets for Dad. All you have to do is email me at sports@ncwlife.com. That's sports@ncwlife.com. We'll do the drawing coming up this Friday, so enter today. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
On the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley this Sunday, June 9th at the Grace Lutheran Church on Washington Street, Trish Blevins and the Glad Song Community Choir. I'm giving you top billing. Glad Song is going to be doing a benefit concert to benefit Trish's organization, Mobile Meals. We'll talk about Mobile Meals, we'll talk about Glad Song, and we'll have a good time. Trish Blevins on the next edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Punch their ticket to the playoffs no matter what happens.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is back on the NCWLIFE channel. Tune in Wednesday, June 12th when the Apple Sox take on the Bellingham Bells. Coverage is brought to you by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling, and our Gold supporter, the Town Auto Group. Apple Sox Baseball also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Club Crow Bar and Grill, the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, and AmeriCorps, your television home for Apple Sox Baseball, the NCWLIFE channel.
And Carson with his first home run.